Alright then, before we officially begin Chapter 6, like I said before, we're going back to the Pit of the Glitz.
And this should be good.
Well, of course, it's gonna be me curb stomping everything. And yeah, it's just for filler. So if you guys don't want to watch this, go ahead and watch. Skip to part 35. And speaking of which, yes, we've had this is like take 3, right? By the way, folks.
Yeah.
But we've already did our commentaries for part 35 to 37. So yeah, don't blame us. Blame technical difficulties. Anyway, yep, we're back in Glitzville. Now, I'm here because, well, I figured, why not reclaim the champion's belt? You know, it has really no bearing on the storyline itself. Much like how Chapter 3 had no real bearing on the storyline in itself. Because Chapter 3 was a filler chapter.
True.
At least this time I'll be clearing it in about a quarter of the time it took me to finish Chapter 3 in the first place. Anyway, yes, I am playing my comeback.
Excellent.
With some new threads to boot. Okay. So yeah, expect us to go off on random tangents throughout for the next hour.
Yeah, this is basically a retread.
Yeah, well, a retread of a retread. Anyway, well, I guess we could always fill people in on news that's been happening since the last time we recorded this. By that I mean part 32. For starters, some interesting reveals regarding Smash 4.
Yes, apparently that leak is looking mighty credible.
Yeah, I mean, if Shulk was any indication. Then I had a feeling that one of the guest composers for Smash 4, which was of course Ace, I had a feeling that there was a reason why they chose Ace for making music for Smash 4, because, well, why not? The hero of Xenoblade was actually confirmed. I had a feeling that was the case. Then all kinds of other composers are going to be joining the musical roster, just like with Brawl, actually. I'm talking about the likes of, well, I'll get to that in a bit. But first, hey, Jolene. And, well, you know, this actually is kind of a mirroring of how we first met Grubba. Because even he complained about us not knocking. Well, this is another reason why I'm here. Because, well, things aren't looking too good for them. I mean, a huge drop in attendance. Their finances aren't doing so well. But,
fun.
Well, at least Rockhawk became champion again. Even more of a reason why we need to snatch that belt from him again. Yes, it's true. That's right. Yeah, even though her face never changes, there's no denying the emotion behind her words.
Indeed.
Eh? What happened? Ouch. So yeah, we gotta start from scratch. It's a high probability that Grubba was the one who erased the records.
Yeah.
Well, considering that he was playing on making.
He was about to kill us.
Yeah. I mean, seriously. Like I said before, this game has had dark and edgy moments throughout. I mean, seriously, the first sign of Rogueport, there was a gallows right there.
Yeah.
Not just that, but Twilight Town itself. The fact that Crump was planning to destroy the Great Tree with a time bomb detonator.
Dupless is pretty creepy.
Yeah. Then the whole thing about pirate ghosts. And just... Oh no, this game has had its share of dark moments, but nothing's gonna trump what happens in the final chapter.
No, no.
Must Mustache better than Clifton when Clifton was Mustache's age. It's nice to see you haven't changed, Clifton.
Last chapter's gonna be grim.
Grim dark. Alright then. Of course, our first opponent would be, well, what else? The Goomba Brothers. So, no allies. You're the only one that wants to see attack out there, okay? Are we clear? Crystal.
Alright.
Anyway, as I was saying, in Smash 4, we got of course a whole bunch of composers contributing, including some Namco-based composers, like Junichi Nakatsuru from the Soul Calibur series. That's as an example. And from now on, we are known as the Superstar Sequel. Alright. Alright, let's see. I'm going to go down the list of which composers are in the 3DS version alone. Yeah, because, yeah, new arrangements for 3DS version. There's people like I said, Ace, who did Xenoblade. Masato Koda, who was responsible for the music behind Monster Hunter. Bunk, bunk. Yep, taking out Goombas traditionally. Anyway, we also got Masashi Hamazu from the Final Fantasy 13 games, as well as Saga Frontier 2.
Ah, interesting.
Kenji Aito from Romancing Saga. Noriyuki Iwadre from the Grandia series, Lunar, and Phoenix Wright Dual Destinies. Also did Trials and Tribulations and the 2 Miles Edgeworth games. Also, we have Shota Kagayama, who did music for Gen 5 and Gen 6. Yuzo Koshiro, everyone knows him. Everyone knows Yuzo Koshiro for the soundtrack of Streets of Rage. Also, guest composer for Castlevania Portrait of Ruin. And I believe ActRaiser. Forgot about ActRaiser.
ActRaiser, that's a classic.
Oh, and Etrian Odyssey.
Etrian Odyssey.
Yes, Etrian Odyssey.
I have not heard of that. I have not heard that series in a long time.
Well, it's gotten a revival of sorts, at least with it actually being released here in the States, with the 4th game as well as I think a remake of the 1st game. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. Speaking of Etrian Odyssey, I'm actually looking forward to the crossover with Persona Q: Shadow of the Labyrinth.
Wait, crossover with what?
Well, basically, think Persona with the gameplay of Etrian Odyssey.
Oh.
It in itself is a crossover between P3 and P4 with the entire party of both games.
Interesting.
Which
they might even try. They might even try to find some excuse to have Makoto himself show up.
Actually,
at least in spirit.
Actually, no. The thing is, based on the basic premise, it takes place during Yasogami High's Culture Festival, and in turn, the members of SEAS end up getting trapped, I think, in the development room, and then they end up at Yasogami High in the future. And by that I mean the entire party of SEAS before the events of October, which means yes, even Makoto and Shinjiro.
So they get flung forward this time.
Yep. Yeah, pretty much it's a full crossover between the full party of P3 and the full party of P4. And yes, that means the protagonists are also going to meet.
You and Makoto, this will be interesting.
Actually, I don't know if they will have canon names in the game, because I'm not sure if they even get mentioned by name. I don't know. But
he did in the freaking arena, if I remember correctly.
Well, you did. Makoto, I don't know. He still wasn't mentioned as such.
They still haven't even friggin' canonized his name yet. They've just been throwing it out there for the anime.
Yeah, which I actually prefer his movie name. But in any case, that means that for the first time in the games, the Persona 3 protagonists will actually have voiced lines.
Which is going to be interesting.
And from what I hear, I think they're bringing back most of all of the cast members that they can for the two parties, with some noticeable changes. But yeah, I'm actually looking forward to that. It's gonna be coming out here in November. Anyway, also speaking of releases of the 3DS, Professor Layton vs. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. And the thing is, it's actually more or less a direct port of the European release, which means it has, of course, European text as well as the actual voice actor for Luke in the UK version. Which means Luke did not get redubbed. Finally. People might say it's lazy, but then again, I think I prefer...
You're not getting any star power today, I don't think.
I don't care. I just need to endure damage for five attacks. But in any case, because you know in the Professor Layton games here in the States, Luke Triton got redubbed.
I don't understand why.
I don't know why either. But yeah, but no. But no, since it was a direct port of the European translation and localization, that means Luke did not get recast for once. Which actually does make me happy, considering I actually prefer Luke's European voice. But the thing is, the game itself, it does combine the best elements of the Layton and Ace Attorney series. Just and not to mention the fact that the two of them are actually working together and on opposite sides. That's what makes it appealing. Because if I recall, in the final witch trial, the professor does become an inquisitor for like the second half of the trial. But at least he's being a friendly rival to Phoenix in that trial. Yeah, I just bought the game. I just cleared the second chapter. I'm looking forward to playing the rest of it. Even if I'm not the best at puzzle solving, it takes me quite a long time to figure it out. Then again, I'm trying to be patient without using hint coins.
Fair enough.
But yeah, if people have been looking forward to that one, then it's definitely not disappointing, unless you were hoping for more than what the game has to offer. At which point, I have to wonder, why do people keep getting your hopes up? Because you know how it goes. No matter what, there's always going to be that section of the fandom that's never going to be satisfied, no matter what the developers do. Prime example, the Sonic the Hedgehog series. Because there's always going to be that section of the fandom that complains.
When it's Sonic, that's inevitable.
And it doesn't just apply to the Sonic series. It can apply to any series.
True. Sonic's just one of those unfortunate franchises that has a very vehement naysayer group. I could tick off a couple more franchises, but eh.
But no, I'm being serious. That franchise is not the only one that's had those kinds of problems. Actually, that's speaking of what I was talking about earlier. Of course, that's not the only Ace Attorney game that we're actually going to be getting this year. We're also getting a re-release of the Phoenix Wright trilogy with redrawn artwork, and the sprites will actually be redone to more or less match the original artwork. And I think the translation is also getting an update too. I mean, just the fact that I'll be finally able to play the original 3 games on my 3DS, as opposed to only playing them on the Wii.
Right.
It makes me happy. And let's see, what else was anyway, the press is ruining me over to kids blocking each other with sticks and pretending to be you. So, no hammer. No hammer time. Oh yeah, going back to composers for Smash 4, at least the 3DS version alone, we also got Yasunori Mitsuda, Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross. Oh yeah, for Call Soul Sacrifice as well. And also Michiko Narake, who did Wild Arms. and perhaps one of the most surprising entries in the lineup, Keiichi Okabe, responsible for the soundtrack of Nier.
Oh. Great soundtrack, good graphics, fun gameplay.
Screwy story.
But you'd have to hold Cavia's developers at gunpoint to make them write a happy ending.
Well, then again, sometimes you just don't want a happy ending, or at least sometimes you're not gonna get a happy ending no matter what you try, or no matter what you do.
Supposedly, there were a couple of endings in Drakengard 3 that nullified Nier.
I'm just saying that sometimes happy endings all the time is boring.
I don't know. I like happy endings.
I know. I mean, but
I go to fiction for happy endings. If I want to see macabre crap and evil winning, I'll watch the evening news.
Which is why, well, again, I guess it's okay to have happy endings, but it doesn't hurt to mix it up a bit too. I mean, prime example, when I did my runs of the first 2 Corpse Party games on the PSP. I mean, it's supposed to, well, just because they're the true endings of each chapter doesn't mean they're good endings. And besides, I actually don't mind the fact that they're downer endings, or at the very least bittersweet endings. Because that's what intrigues me of that series, the fact that you never know what's going to happen next. Which is why I'm really hoping they localize the 3rd game in that particular trilogy. I'm really hoping they do. Because I'm waiting for that for a while. Anyway, moving on. Let's see, what are composers we got? Oh, Motoi Sakuraba from Tales and Dark Souls and Star Ocean.
Nice.
Then there's Tetsuya Shibata, who did Devil May Cry 2, 3, and 4. Yoko Shimomura, who needs no introduction, because we all know what she has done. In case you guys haven't figured it out, Mario and Luigi RPGs, Super Mario RPG, the Kingdom Hearts series. Yeah. If I recall, I think she's going to be doing the music for 15, I think. Final Fantasy 15, I think.
Fun.
If I recall, that's the case. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And we also got the likes of Masafumi Takada, who did music from Danganronpa. And of course, we have Hirokazu Tanaka, who, fans of Nintendo, they don't need any introduction in regards to that person. I'm surprised you, of all people, don't recognize that name.
Who?
Hirokazu Hip Tanaka.
Ah, yes. I know that name, but I forget what he does.
He was responsible for many of the old school soundtracks back in the day, like for Metroid and Dr. Mario. Anyway, we also have some pretty talented Nintendo-based composers who have been involved in recent titles, like say Toru Minagishi, who did Twilight Princess and Spirit Tracks, and Mahito Yokota, who mostly does orchestral work for Nintendo's games, like Galaxy 1 and 2, 3D World, and actually was responsible for the orchestrations of the orchestrated tracks in Skyward Sword. Let's see. Yeah, just the list goes on and on. I'm actually looking forward to seeing what tracks, or at least what composers will be available for the Wii U version as well.
Interesting.
Although that makes me wish I had a Wii U so I could play the console version. But I guess I'll settle for 3DS.
Well, I know one thing. A lot of people are predicting that the 3DS Wii U connectivity is probably going to bring the 3DS stages and soundtracks over to the Wii U version.
Yeah, and did you hear about the fact they're making new models of the 3DS?
I heard about that.
I don't know. It's interesting considering that it's as if they're improving on like the interface more or less. But I don't know. I mean, I have a 3DS XL, which, while good, I do have complaints about it, considering, well, on my current 3DS, that is.
Yeah, well, I have a 3DS XL, mostly because I accidentally tricked my uncle into getting one for me for my birthday last year.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Was that what you're hoping for, or?
No. I was joking with him. He's like, well, what do you want me to get you? And I was like, well, what do you want? I told him I was joking, and he's like, okay, yeah, sure. I got torn to pieces by my folks for that.
Yes, you rightfully should have, even though you really should have told them,
I
don't take me seriously.
I tried to say it was a joke.
But the thing, my complaint about the 3DS XL is, I think the screens are a bit darker than on the regular 3DS.
I don't mind them. I do like the new 3DS has got a second circle pad, although it's like one of those buttons you find in a laptop keyboard that lets you move the mouse around.
Well, at least it's a way to actually use the Circle Pad Pro without having to resort to a regular 3DS.
Yeah, well, I'm a partial ambi, so I don't have any issues with the position of the thumbstick.
And is it just me, or does the 3DS XL have slightly softer sound compared to like a 3DS?
Doesn't matter to me.
I'm not sure, because I don't remember having a regular 3DS. First 3DS I got was an XL. I just don't know. Although, I just really wish I had a Wii U at the moment, because there were so many games I want to play on that thing.
Man, just save up, man.
I know, but with me, money is always an issue. The bills to pay, groceries, and other stuff I need. It's an ongoing struggle.
Nice.
Then I tend to be, well, a bit too consumer happy, I guess you could say. I tend to spend money a bit too frivolously.
Yeah, you may want to be a little more thrifty, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to be. Anyway, just like that, we're pretty much almost to the Major League. I don't know. Other than what I've just been talking about and stuff, I'm not sure what else has been happening lately. And of course, the last opponent of the minor league is the handed-overs. 5 turns or less. I have very important meetings a little bit and can't be late. Okay. Well, you know, I'm going to be going... At least I'm going to start off the battle with a thief against a bunch of bandits.
The irony.
Although, even though this has nothing to do with Nintendo, I'm actually looking forward to hopefully pre-ordering Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, which is actually coming out at the end of this month.
Nice.
I have done some research on the plot and stuff, and I'm rather mixed. But, oh well. At least it gives me something new to play. Although, speaking of which, I did something odd, and yet I didn't think I'd be able to pull it off. Just one day when I was feeling bored, I went through the story mode of Soul Calibur 5 and managed to beat it in the same day. Albeit, yes, I even recorded the whole thing. It's just I'm going to have to do quite a bit of editing because, you know, some of the fights are rather unfair. Not only due to the opponents themselves, but also due to the choice in characters. This is why being the most difficult, in my opinion. Well, next to Alpha Patroclus. That being said, I can understand why people are angry about Soul Calibur 5 story mode being too focused on the siblings. But then again, I guess it was, in a way, it was still a decent way to actually just end the whole thing. Well, so far. Because we have no idea if it's going to be a 6. But then again, there could be. I mean, if Tekken's getting a 7th entry, why not Soul Calibur getting a 6th one? Well, technically a 7th main series one, considering you gotta remember there was also Soul Edge on the PS1.
Yeah, the arcade.
Well, as well as its PS1 release called Soul Blade.
True.
I mean, you never know. Although, another thing happened this week. they actually they showed a teaser trailer for Persona 5. And
Yeah, I saw that. Rajman had the trailer on his channel.
yeah, and it gave us a peek at what the main character will look like. Wow, I gotta say, it was not what I was expecting. I mean, there's a let's see, a high school student wearing glasses, and actually needing glasses. That's unusual.
Quite.
But then again, I'm not gonna complain. Although then again, the release did get pushed back because I think it's because of the fact that it's gonna be on PS4 as well. Well, at least it gives me more reason not throwing my PS3, considering it's gonna be on that still. That I'll be looking forward to playing that game and actually doing a run of it when the time comes. Speaking of which, I'm actually considering doing the first 2 games as well.
Yeah, if you can get your hands on them.
No, I do have the first 2 games. I was not courageous enough to do them at first.
Yeah, Persona 1 and 2 are
Much more
hard.
much more archaic, but they're not impossible. And with that, we're done with the minor league. See you guys in part 34 for the second half.
Mm-hmm.